What are your thoughts, one, with what's going on at Fox, and as well as any thoughts you may have with Tucker? Not related to Abby, just Tucker himself.
Well, again, a little breaking news for your show. In terms of my cancellation, with Tucker, I was on Tucker every once in a while. He doesn't, but he had scheduled me twice to come down to his Florida Fox Nation studio to do the hour-long special, kind of like this. And both times those got canceled. And at the time, I was wondering whether it was part of the broader cancellation of Fox. But now I'm sure of that. So I'm kind of wondering how he let that happen in some sense. I mean, I got pulled on my way to the video truck from Janine's show twice. So I think Tucker, I think Tucker was really pissed off at the restraints that Fox was trying to put on him, and I think that probably led him to even fight harder for what he wanted to say, which kind of escalated the whole thing. But look, Fox, I think Fox will be just more than happy to let Fox News kind of fade sort of into the sunset. They'll have like a steady thing. Cable TV this is the future right here, right? It's a streaming model. The Fox audience demo is a cable news, very old demographically. It's like the Chinese population. It's kind of literally dying off. And they'll make all their money off Fox Sports, which is a bonanza, and Fox Entertainment and all the other kind of stuff they do. But the politics of Fox News is quite simple. You have the Never Trump traditional rhino Republican and name only wing in control of the network right now, with the help of Lachlan and James Murdoch, who are effectively Democrats. Roger Ailes is gone, so he no longer polices that. And Fox is Never Trump and adopts that persona strictly for business purposes. That's where the money is. That's where the Wall Street globalist money, the Pfizer money that runs all the big farmer ads, and they just as soon have Trump go away. So they stop televising his rallies. They don't have him on very often. Surrogates like me, Rudy, Mike Flynn, Don Jr., it's like we're persona non grata. Laura Trump left there. And I think it's important, I urge people now to cut the cord. There's a frequent guest host on Steve Bannon's War Room Pandemic. There's Newsmax, which is just up the road from here. There's the One America News Network. And then there's just a wealth of podcasts out there that, the Real America's Voice, which is the one Bannon's on, also has like the young generation, Charlie Kirk, John Solomon, at 6 with kind of the inside scoop. So my point is that don't watch Fox. They're lying to you. They're lying to you until they change their ways. There's no reason to watch Fox. Tucker was pretty much the only reason why.
Fox is lying to you.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So let's define that. Yes. Hannity.
Look,
you got some people
bad.
That are still Brian. You got some names
look,
there.
Look. The whole election issue, they bullied Hannity and Laura Ingraham into kind of like, it's like leave it alone. Let's look at the net. That was the spin. That all came from the second floor, came from the Murdochs. But the lie. Look, Fox will still throw red meat on the traditional issues. But at the end of the day, they're not going to tell you the truth about everything from communist China, the real truth, to the Jan 6th, to November 3rd, any of that. They're just not. And the Karl Rove's, you look at Karl Rove, right? He's like the most powerful person on the air, and Paul Ryan, the ex-Speaker of the House on the board of directors, is the most powerful person at Fox off the air, besides the family itself.
So do you think Fox and Murdoch's there's a lot of talk. They're like, they're going to silence Tucker the next 18 months, and they're going to keep paying him on the contract, and they're not going to release him because they're worried he's going to be able to influence the election a lot. So they're going to have to silence him there. Do you think, if let's just say that theory is correct, do you think Fox and Murdoch's are for DeSantis to help him?
Anybody but Trump.
So, but is it anybody but Trump?
Yes.
Or is it a liberal, then DeSantis, then Trump?
No, it's anybody but Trump. Because DeSantis, look, MAGA, right? At the first and foremost, what MAGA is the strong American manufacturing base achieved by being savvy and tough in the international global trading arena. DeSantis has no experience in that. So he's getting a lot of big money from the Steve Schwartzmans, the Larry Finks of this world, who own Wall Street and all the hedge fund money, who make all their money from that. So it's anybody but Trump, and that's the way the coverage is going to go. I mean, I look at, for example, the Sunday show on Fox. They have Asa Hutchinson on. The guy's like polling at less than 1%. They give him a platform. But to your point about Tucker, what's their strategy? I was on Eric Bolling last night. Bolling is a former Fox alum who got the same treatment Tucker's getting. He push him out the door, and then the next thing you know, they're leaking all sorts of shit to try to, the reputation stuff. And here's the strategy with Tucker. It's very simple what they're going to do. With Tucker, they're going to keep him on the payroll for a while until a couple of things happen. One is that he signs a non-disclosure agreement so he won't be dumping on Fox when he leaves. Okay, that's one of the things they'd like to get. And in the meantime, they're going to use the leak machine to degrade his brand so that his options will be less. Whatever they are now, they'll be less by the time he gets out. And if you don't believe me, just look at the Lou Dobbs model. That's what they did with Lou. Lou was the Tucker of Fox Business. Okay, he was the guy with the highest ratings on Fox Business. Tucker's the guy with the highest ratings on Fox News. What they did with Lou, he was the sacrificial lamb. They fired him. They kept him on the payroll. I think it was for over a year. And now he's doing a podcast, and I love Lou, but he's struggling to stay in the top 100. They degraded his brand. And so that's the strategy. And the
only issue is Lou Dobbs is what, almost 80? Tucker's in his early 50s?
Well, he's not talking about right now. What he's saying is what they did to him right after.
Yeah,
but that was a few years ago.
It's the same.
Wasn't...
Yeah, but it's
he's not talking about personality. He's talking about contract strategy.
Yeah, it's the point.
No, I get it. But Tucker's a fighter, whereas Lou Dobbs is a little bit older. It's going to be harder to silence someone that is way more mainstream than Lou Dobbs.
And what was Lou's sin? Patriotism.
Yeah. I mean, Tucker's... You're right on. Tucker's a bigger
Adam's got a
force
point because you're talking about
Lou.
he's 77. Tucker's 53 or 54.
And with due respect to Lou Dobbs, I watch Fox Business all the time. Charles Payne and Neil Cavuto, I think they're great. Bartiromo. Tucker's way bigger than Lou Dobbs.
No, I'm just saying.
But stay on this question. So
what if somebody they learn from what they did to Lou? That's the model.
What if somebody offers to buy Tucker's current remaining contract? Would Fox release him and sell it?
No, they look. The big thing is the non-disclosure. Okay, they don't want Tucker going off and talking about the inner workings of Fox. He goes over to I don't know, Newsmax or One America's News. Those things immediately their whole viewership jumps dramatically. Real America's Voice brings him in. I mean, they have to shut him down. They have to keep him quiet. That's what they do. If you look at what they did with Megyn Kelly, whoever, it's like they force them to sign non-disclosure deals, and they leak. That's the big thing. They're leaking all sorts of stuff right now to kind of make Tucker look
certain comments,
look like
certain stories.
They do the same thing that Trump gets. He's a misogynist. He's a racist. He's a this. He's a that. You can't believe any of that crap.
There's a playbook here, is what you're saying.
There's a playbook, and they're following the playbook. It's just business, and it's scurrilous business. It's business without ethics or morals, and that's why I say the people who watch Fox News cannot trust Fox News to tell them the truth.
Well,
in
isn't
any
that
way.
Politics in general? Business without morals and ethics? That's just, I mean, that's politics,
Yeah, but
isn't
when
it?
did politics become the same principles for journalism? Okay? Well, last time I looked, it's called Fox News. It's not called Fox Propaganda, although it should be.
Well,
Right, yeah. Well,
we can have a
look,
whole 2-hour podcast about that and CNN.
I got 2 chapters in the Taking Back Trump's America book on the fall from grace of the Fourth Estate. But I mean, it's like we're
Ari Fleischer wrote a whole book about that. He was here a handful of months ago and said exactly that.
yes, and I mentioned Ari in my Taking Back Trump's America book because one of the problems we had early on was we lost the guy who would have been a good press secretary in Jason Miller to his own kind of personal troubles. And then we had a succession of people that never met the standard of the Ari Fleischers of this world or the Pierre Salingers or, some of those really good press secretaries who could handle the media. We just got handled, but that's another story.
I don't know. We're going to see what's going to happen there. I mean, obviously, there is a massive need for something right now. And if they're not going to release the guy because they're trying to hurt him the next 18 months and spread all these rumors, the text, the white man, you saw what they said about, Tucker's exchange. Was that how white men fight and all this other stuff?
It's just...
I don't know if it's going to work, and I think it could potentially also backfire on them. But we will see. We're going to see what's going to happen.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.